Today is Workout Wednesday. That's why I'm dressed like this. I made a promise to myself that I would do my part in making sure that I stay in the best of health that I can. Main reason is because I don't want to be on any pharmaceutical medications. Why? Because after doing a lot of research about medications that people are prescribed for ailments like high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, stuff like that, I found out that majority of the medications that people are put on have side effects, and those long-term consumption of those medications it's inevitable, y'all. It will do damage to your internal organs. So I have decided, since I was diagnosed in 2017 with high blood pressure, and this was like the menopause stage that I was in. I had high blood pressure, I was pre-diabetes, and the doctor said that my cholesterol was going into the range where they didn't want it to go. So I did research, and I decided that I was going to do what I needed to do to keep myself from being a candidate of any pharmaceutical medications. So what I did was I started to incorporate more fruits and vegetables in my dietary intake on a daily basis. I was not a real fan of fruits and vegetables, not like talking about it. It's not that I didn't eat it, but I didn't realize that as I got older, and as you get older, your body doesn't really want all of the stuff that you're eating now, since you're over 50 or over 60. It wants more fruits and vegetables. So I started eating more fruits and vegetables, more protein, more high fiber foods, low calorie meals, and moving. One of the things that I had got just comfortable with was not really moving, like talking about it. And in my earlier years, I was real active when it came down to exercise. I love step workouts, and that was my thing for a long time. But as I got older, and just life just taking me to different phases, I stopped working out. I stopped doing the step workout. But now I do. I've incorporated that. So for me, I do this for me because I know bigger clothes cost more money. I'm not for paying more money because my clothes are bigger because I'm bigger. No, I can do something about that. When I look in the mirror, I want to see what I like. I don't care about what nobody else like. I want to be content with myself when I look in the mirror. I think that we all have choices, and we make the decisions to do what we think we should do for ourselves as we see fit. So that's why I do what I do for me. I want to be around for a long time to carry out the purpose that the Lord has given me down here on this earth before He calls me home. And I want to be in the best of health that I can be, so I can enjoy my life and move around freely without any difficulties walking and just doing stuff. So with all that being said, I also want to drop this on you. I was reading in Luke, the 24th chapter today, and it starts off by talking about the women that went to the tomb to anoint the body of Jesus. And when they got there, He wasn't there. And, two angels, explained to them that He wasn't there. And they said, remember, He told you that the Son of Man would be crucified, but he would rise on the third day. And they went back and they told the disciples about it, and they didn't believe him. And I sat there and I thought about that, and I'm like, how can you be with somebody for 3 years and see how they're living, see what they're doing, watching all of the miracles that he performed, and, believe in everything that he said because you see it coming to pass. But yet when he tells you that he is going to be crucified and he's going to rise on the third day, you go to the tomb the next day with spices and ointments and all of that, because that was their tradition, to anoint his body. But he told you he was going to rise on the third day. And that word remember, that is a word, because we know different from those ladies. We know different from the disciples. We all have bouts of doubt and, trouble remembering things that we should remember. So I'm not saying anything to their discredit at all. But the word remember, to me, is a word that it brings back so much. There's so much meat in that word remember. Because a lot of times if we would just remember what happened the last time we were facing something, what did the Lord do? And we know he don't do the same thing the same way all the time. You can't put him in a box. He does what he wants to do, the way he wants to do it, when he gets ready to do it, right? Like the song says, he's an on-time God. May not come when you want it, but he's always on time. And I think that if we would just meditate today on that word remember, it would really keep us from going into bouts of despair and bouts of doubt. So my word for you today is remember. Remember where you came from. Remember where you started and where you're at right now. Remember the things that the Lord has taught you. Remember the things that he's brought you through. Remember the ways that he has showed you that you can trust him. Remember that he told you, I will never leave you or forsake you. I know all the time it don't feel like that. I know all the time it don't look like that, but you're talking about your senses. And the Lord is not concerned about your senses. He's concerned about your faith. And I hear people say sometimes, God is not a respecter of persons. He's not. But he's a respecter of faith. The Bible says that without faith, it is impossible to please him. So with that being said, y'all, remember. May that be the word for you today that will keep you out of the forest of doubt, that will keep you out of the forest of despair. Remember. Until the next video.